These are some of the hobbies of our favorite cartoon characters in animations and cartoons. Squidward Tentacles from SpongeBob loves playing the clarinet and gardening at his home, but his main hobby involves interpretive dancing, which is made by moving his tentacles in a wobbly manner while standing very still. Lucifer Morningstar from Hazbin Hotel is the king of hell, and he loves spending his spare time obsessively creating thousands of magical rubber ducks, some which can breathe fire and others which can perform various tricks. Ed from Ed and Eddie is considered the master of labeling, and he uses a label marker to identify every single object in his room, including his bed and desk. Stanford Pines from Gravity Falls is obsessed with a board game known as Dungeons and More Dungeons, and he actually spends years calculating the statistical probability of every possible dice roll that could happen in the game. Marceline from Adventure Time loves to write songs about French fries, and she is a talented musician who mainly focuses on food-related songs and poems. Professor Farnsworth from Futurama breeds highly dangerous and sentient plants called the Doom Shrooms in his lab, but he always forgets why he created them in the first place. Lois Griffin from Family Guy loves looking good for her age, and she briefly took up the hobby of modeling alongside middle-aged women in Quahog just to feel good about herself. Dale Gribble from King of the Hill loves to enter his turtles in underground races, and he is also convinced there is a massive high-stakes conspiracy behind the league. The Ice King from Adventure Time spends hours writing fan-fiction stories, and he loves including Finn and Jake in his stories just to make them feel more real. Mr. Bender Rodriguez from Futurama loves to drink booze, but his main hobby is to steal and collect magnets and other shiny objects for absolutely no reason. Helga Pataki from Hey Arnold has a very weird hobby that involves gum sculpting, and she has a secret massive shrine that is dedicated to Arnold, and it is entirely made of his discarded chewing gum. The Collector from the Owl House has a hobby that involves preserving living beings and turning them into puppets to play with forever. Zim from Invader Zim has the weirdest hobby of collecting normal human organs like a large intestine through his mouth, and he does that so that he can appear healthy just like the others. Roger Smith from American Dad is a real-life persona crafter, and he creates elaborate as well as legally documented lives for hundreds of alter egos, and I think he can play as anyone he wants whenever he wants. Stan Smith is another character from American Dad who is known for his devotion to his miniature slot car track, and he treats the tiny plastic cars with more respect than his own family. Hank Hill from King of the Hill sells propane, and he also enjoys reading technical manuals and cataloging different types of valves and nozzles for fun. Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers loves to write stories about her classmates and zombies in weird romantic situations, and the details in her stories are very weird in a way I can't explain in this platform. Bill Dotterive from King of the Hill loves competitive eating, and he eats as much as possible to fill the void of his loneliness. Bubble Bass from Bikini Bottom loves spending his time critiquing action figures while also ensuring that they never leave the box while doing so. Lord Hader from Wander Over Yonder loves to take skeleton selfies, and he is obsessed with taking pictures of himself while looking cool, but his hobby makes him to lose track of his goals of dominating the world. Jimmy Neutron is a genius kid who loves modifying household appliances, and he loves turning everyday gadgets into modern technology that can be used in different ways. Phineas Flynn from Phineas and Ferb is one of the greatest inventor I have ever seen, and we mostly saw him on summer vacation where he and his brother built magnificent things within minutes. Dr. Doofenshmirtz, who also appeared in Phineas and Ferb, is a great scientist who builds machines from scratch, and he loves naming his inventions in a similar pattern where the names end with an ater. Garnet from Steven Universe enjoys standing perfectly still in coffee shops and watching human beings interact with each other, and she does this to understand their emotions like love and happiness. Wirt from Over the Garden Wall enjoys playing the clarinet and also writing dark atmospheric poetry that he is too embarrassed to share with others. Rigby from Regular Show loves doing something called ham-boning, which is a hobby that involves rhythmically slapping his own body to create a beat, and he always believes that it is a viable life skill. Skips, who also appeared in Regular Show, spends his centuries of life performing maintenance on magical items that no one else knows exist. Beast Boy from Teen Titans loves petting soft things, and he is obsessed with finding the softest animals in the world just to pet them. Raven, also from Teen Titans, has a hobby of knitting with darkness, and she uses her dark magic to knit literal sweaters and scarves out of shadow energy. Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty loves to create entire universes just to serve as a battery for things like his car and electrical appliances. And he treats the management of these civilizations as an everyday chore. Darwin Watterson from Gumball has extreme empathy, and this leads him to befriend and have conversations with inanimate objects like dust and even food. Richard Watterson, on the other hand, is the laziest character in animation history, and his hobby is sitting on the couch, which he views as an Olympic-level sport, and he aims for zero movement that can last for days. Patrick Star from SpongeBob is another lazy character who loves doing nothing, and he even won a trophy for doing absolutely nothing longer than anyone else. Sandy Cheeks is good in fighting skills like karate, and she practices a desert-based martial art while living in a pressurized air dome at the bottom of the ocean. Master Shake from Aqua Teen Hunger Force loves solving crimes, and his hobby revolves around spending time investigating disasters that he actually caused. Carl Bruton-Anadoluski is also from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and his hobby is collecting adult magazines, which he keeps for later use, if you know what I mean. Stewie Griffin from Family Guy loves to follow overweight people with a tuba, and he plays it as they walked as a way of mocking them. Peter Griffin does very many things throughout the show, but there was one instance where he declared his house as a sovereign nation because he was bored with local zoning laws. Homer Simpson from The Simpsons is just like Peter Griffin in terms of behavior, but Homer's hobby is sleeping in his job as a safety inspector, and his napping is actually considered a refined skill in the show. Lisa Simpson, on the other hand, is a jazz saxophone player, and she likes going to lonely places to play soulful jazz, and she treats the solitude as part of the art. Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls loves monologuing to plants, and he mostly practices his evil speeches to his houseplants to ensure perfect delivery. Him is yet another villain from the Powerpuff Girls, and he is a demonic entity who loves doing high-energy and flamboyant workouts while planning how he'll destroy Townsville. Babs Bunny from Tiny Toon Adventures loves impressionism, and she loves to literally become other people through impressions by copying how others talk, walk, and even dress. Pinky from Pinky and the Brain loves counting things while Brain plans world domination, and he finds joy in counting things that don't matter, example like counting the number of holes in a cracker. Cat and Dog from Cat Dog love eating so much, but the difference is that Cat enjoys eating gourmet food while Dog loves chasing garbage trucks and eating disgusting foods. Courage from Courage the Cowardly Dog is a pro at using the 1990s desktop computer, and he uses this gift to research ancient curses and paranormal entities. Muriel Bag is a good cook in the kitchen, but the only problem is that she loves adding vinegar to every kind of food she cooks. Eustace Bag, on the other hand, enjoys scaring Courage throughout the series, and he treats scaring his dog with an Ooga Booga mask as his primary source of entertainment. Run Hook from Run and Stimpy has a strange obsession of collecting the gritty kitty litter, and he enjoys finding the right texture and quality of cat litter. And last but not least, we have Stimpy, who loves and enjoys collecting dried mucus under the porch, which he later treats them like precious jewels and calls them his magic nose goblins.